Hello, welcome to Virtual Yin Yoga. My name is Alexa Newman. I'm a librarian here at Dale Garden Public Library, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor. Today we're doing a yin practice, and first off, I'd like to start by suggesting you gather your props. Props we use to help extend our poses and make each position or pose that we hold or asana more available to us. So it's kind of like an extension of our limbs and our bodies in different ways. Some things that you probably want to use would be a yoga block if you have one. If you don't, find something in a sturdy box, book, something about that size. A bolster or a sturdy pillow, furniture cushion. You don't want it to have too much give because once again this helps support us. A yoga strap is also helpful. A folded blanket or a towel. Those are also useful. So we're going to begin our practice with an opening meditation. I invite you to sit in an easy seated position that is comfortable for you. Crisscross applesauce. If you want to put blocks or blankets or folded towels under your knees, you can do that. Because in Yin, we work very hard on trying to relax and release all of our muscles. So I invite you to come to a easy seated position and put your hands on our knees. If you wish to place them palms up in what we call receiving position, you can do that, and you can even join your thumb and your forefinger together, which activates some of our meridians and kind of helps energize us. This is called a mudra. So let's close our eyes and begin to breathe, even, steadily, and gently through our noses. And try and find that breath to come from our diaphragm, from our belly. Our practice today, we're going to be focusing on, like I said, relaxing, letting go, being in the moment. We're going to have a mindful practice. So let's release all of our worries, our concerns, stop thinking about what needs to be done later in the day, what had to be done in the past that isn't done, and be here in the moment. Take this time for yourself. I think it is very important to have meditation moments, mindful moments every day to build a practice. It helps us release stress. It helps curb anxiety, worries. It improves our health. Our blood pressure goes down. Anxiety and depression, it helps lessen them, and it brings us stillness and certainty in a big island of uncertainty. So try and find at least 10 minutes a day that you can find that quiet time to reflect, whether you're sitting on your patio with a cup of coffee or tea in the morning, or if it's at night where you are having a prayerful moment. Find that time away from outside influences, outside media, get away from family, animals, just you and yourself. So Continue to breathe. Feel that breath moving in and out. Visualize it moving throughout our bodies. Open our eyes. Our first pose of the day is going to be on our backs. It is a supported fish pose. Now, I traditionally will do fish towards the end of a practice. Today we're doing it towards the beginning. So, what we're going to do is build up. An angle. In traditional fish, we normally would sit on our hands and allow our head to drop back. Here, we're getting that angle through the bolster and the block. And I have the block kind of hitting at the occipital ridge. We don't want to be resting on the actual neck. That is not safe, so it's hitting me. I'm hitting a point on my occipital so my head can still fall back. And my lower back is supported by the bolster. Once I'm here, I bring my arms just sliding the fall towards the side. And I'm going to relax. And release, let go of all my muscles. In a yin practice, we want to release. We don't tense or hold or contract any of our muscles. We don't want them activated, we want them loosening. In this way, we get a deeper stretch of muscle groups, of our tendons. We open up joints. And we work on breaking up, stretching out that connective tissue. So while you're here, let go, release the muscles in your face. Stop scrunching up your eyes. Reposition yourself if you feel that you are uneven anywhere. Relax your shoulders. Relax the muscles in your back. Relax your glutes, your legs. In this case, as I'm relaxing, I'm finding my feet are falling towards the sides, and that's okay, because it was holding on to the muscles that was keeping them turning with the knees and toes up. With this particular arch in my back position, my feet are just naturally falling out to the sides. Continue to feel your breath moving through you. I want you to visualize each inhale in and exhale out. See the molecules of oxygen. Visualize them Just little polka dots bouncing through your body, all the way down to your toes, coming back up, following the circulatory system. Okay, let's sit up. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Our next pose is called half shoelace. And you may want a block or a bolster with you for this pose. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to cross our ankle over our thigh and then pull forward. And this is where you may want to have the bolster here, or you may want to put something, hold a towel or block under your knee, because we don't want you to feel pain. We want there to be a nice stretch, but if you're clenching and really fighting it and it's too painful, rest on the block and you'll find it's easier to let go and release. So once you're here, another important thing is we don't want your ankle on the knee itself, on the kneecap. You want it either above or below. So if it's not comfortable to have it above, I'd rather have you have it a little bit below instead of resting directly on the kneecap. And then release and relax and allow your body to just droop and fall. And you'll notice that I'm wearing a sweater today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the temperature in a room during a yoga practice. We want our bodies and our muscles to be warm in every yoga practice. In Yin, we typically have a cooler room, a cooler practice, but it still should not be chilly. You should never feel chilled while you're practicing. The warmth makes it easier for our muscle groups to move. So I encourage you to stay comfortable and warm, depending on the space you're in. Like I said, Yin is cooler, but some yoga classes, you may have heard of hot yoga. One variety called Bikram actually suggests having the room at 105 degrees. Hot yoga is typically anywhere between 92 and 105. You sweat a lot, but there are some benefits to a hot practice. I'm not suggesting you rush out and do that, but the point is make sure your body is warm and your muscles are warm, because it's more beneficial to work warm muscles rather than cold. And there's more chance for injury when you're cold. Okay. Let's sit up, uncross those legs, reposition your sit bones, wiggle the legs out a little bit. The other thing is we don't want to hyperextend the legs, so if you're finding your knees are locking, you might want to roll up a little towel under your leg. Catch that. It's always better to have a little bit of a bend, especially people that are hyper flexible, what we used to call being double jointed. It's important that we don't let those knees lock because you can actually have more joint damage and injury when you do lock. And so, like I said, having this little towel underneath is kind of helping me avoid getting that knee lock. And I'm going to drop a block under this knee. Remember, we don't want to be on top of the kneecap. And if you had a pillow or bolster on the first side, try and do the same thing, mirror on the opposite side. The symmetry is important. Once you're here, relax, let go. I don't want you clenching, activating any of those muscle groups. Continue to breathe. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Open up your jaw just a little bit. Do a quick body scan. Are you tensing up muscles anywhere? Are you squeezing your tushy? Let it go. Relax your shoulders. Allow your head to droop forward. I'm looking forward so that you can hear me instead of me talking into the pillow. Allow your head to drop. Allow your fingers to dangle. And as you relax, you may find yourself slumping further forward, melting more towards the floor. I was mentioning making sure you're warm. When it comes to the type of clothing that we wear during a yoga workout, there are different philosophies. Some instructors and yogis suggest that we wear loose clothing. I personally prefer to actually have like spandex leggings and stretchy tops as opposed to loose clothes, which I feel like get in the way sometimes, but you need to do what is comfortable for you. If wearing a looser baggy like harem pants and a loose t-shirt is comfortable, by all means do that. Honor yourself and what feels right to you. Okay, it's been 3 minutes, believe it or not, so let's uncross those legs. Once again, shake out. We're going to actually pull our knees up, feet flat on the floor, and we're going to tick-tock back and forth. Our next pose is a variation of one that we do frequently, and I'm warming up here, so I'm actually going to take off my sweater. We're going to do a reclined deer. So this might be one to keep in mind in the future if you can't do full deer. So to get into this position, we're going to take our left leg and we're going to fold it back at the knee so our heel is kind of towards our tushy. And then we're going to bend the right leg and have that right foot rest on top of our left thigh. And I'm turning so you can see me. What's different about the reclined deer is normally we twist and fold forward. In this case, we're actually going to lean back. And you can lean back On your elbows for the full, to go full recline, very similar to what we do in fish, where our hands are under our tushies, and drop your head back. If that is too extreme, bring the bolster around behind the small of your back and come back and lean back on the bolster. And then release and relax. And you're going to be able to stretch most likely along the outside of your left side, and then down and along your IT bands and into your front quads. Once you're here, again, relax, let go. Release your shoulders, release the muscles in your back, release the muscles in your glutes and your thighs. Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. If you find outside thoughts collecting, acknowledge it, release it, let it go. It'll be there at the end of the practice. Okay, come up onto your elbows. Bring yourself up to a seated position. We're going to switch sides. So, bring those feet out in front of you. Stretch out your toes. Flex your feet. Reposition your tushy, and now we're going to fold. Get right foot back, pull it close to your tush, and the left foot in towards the right thigh. Once again, bring the bolster. We use the bolster. We're sitting in the hands, put the hands under your tushy, and then we're going to recline back. If you find your knee is lifting and it's painful, just bring a block under it and allow it to rest on the block. Relax, let go. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Relax the muscles in your tushy, in your legs. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth and continue to breathe. Okay, bring yourself up to a seated position. Our next pose is we're going to do two of the three standing poses that are typical in Yin. I'm going to need a little preparation here to get into this pose. So you may wish to have some blocks, bolster, something else, or a wall, or all 3 or 4 items. We're going to do what is called malasana, or squat, and then dangle, and then back into a squat. And for me, malasana is one of the most difficult poses. I've been working on it for several years, and it's, like I said, it's still not easy for me. So I do use the wall, and because we're going to be in it for an extended period of time, I actually am using the bolster along with a block. Okay, so what you want to do to get into a proper pose, spread your feet out a little bit, wider than hip width apart, and you could actually turn your feet out at a 45-degree angle. And I am going to stand back with my tushy actually against the wall, and then I come down into the squat. You can see I'm actually repositioning just a little bit, and I'm now sitting on the bolster and the block, and then I'm going to relax and let go, and my back and my tush are against the wall. And if you're able to go into a squat naturally, go for it. That's awesome. Some people's squat is quite easy. For some of us, it's a struggle. And for me, for whatever reason with my anatomy, I can't sit on my heels. So any type of a pose like hero, even child's pose, I can never go completely back. It's just my knees, my body does not bend that way. And we all have unique features of our anatomy. So you need to honor that, and that's why we have props. But I can tell you, 4 years ago, I could not do this at all. And so I'm hopeful that at some point I will be able to do this pose without any kind of props and hold it for a while. But until then, I'm thankful for the props because my body is still benefiting from this pose. Now you could have your hands out and down and rest your elbows against the insides of your thighs, down near your knees if you wish. You can have your hands up in prayer pose. Have your hands out. It's up to you what is most comfortable for you. And for me, I find having the elbows on the insides of the thighs intensifies the pose. Okay, from here, we are now going to rise up into a dangle. And you can do this by pushing up, however you see fit. I needed obviously a little bit of help there from the wall. Bring your feet a little bit forward. Allow the knees to bend. And then allow your hands to dangle or grab your elbows. And just fold forward. As you relax, you may find yourself with your head and your arms getting closer and closer towards the floor. Remember to breathe. Slowly roll yourself back up to standing. Taking a moment to make sure if you get dizzy, collect your breath. We're going to come back down into Malasana. Maybe you're sinking down a little bit further this time. Okay. Awesome job, everybody. It's probably our most difficult thing of the day. All right, let's come down now. Out of Malasana. Our next pose is called a reclining Buddha. And you can use this with your block or your bolster. And this is a fun one that you could actually do if you're like watching TV or something. And it's actually a yoga pose. You can tell your family, oh, I'm doing yoga. Okay? Variations. Basically, if we want to be on our elbow and on our side with our knees bent. Stacked on top of each other, hips stacked. So we're not rolling forward or back. And then you could have your hand behind you, on your hip, or in front of you. If it's uncomfortable to stay on your elbow, you can rest on a bolster or have a block to intensify. You could put a block under your armpit and actually then release down onto the block. And you have the block hold your weight, but make sure that you have it positioned right. We don't be cutting off your circulation or anything. That actually intensifies it. I find that if I have my shoulder stacked directly over my elbow and my body is facing forward, I can actually hold this pose for quite a long time without anything falling asleep or feeling stress or pain. However, if it is uncomfortable for you, like I said, rest on the bolster. Have the bolster up here and have that hold you. Okay? Continue to breathe. Never stop breathing. Sometimes when we get intense and we're concentrating, we hold our breath and we don't even realize it. Okay. I'm going to switch sides now. Believe it or not, that was 3 minutes. If you were using a block or a bolster on the first side, continue to do this on the opposite side. Remember, if you have your elbow and your shoulder stacked in front of each other, open your fingers out. That helps distribute the weight. Hips stacked on top of each other, shoulders stacked. One other variation of the pose, you could come down lower, is actually resting your head on your hand. As a yoga pose, tend to have your gaze out, looking out in front of you, either down at your fingertips or at a point on the floor in front of you. So like I said, we are trying to relax and release our muscles. So you can allow your head to kind of fall forward the way mine is. And I'm looking at my fingers. You shouldn't be holding your neck up. I'm doing it right now, once again, to talk to the camera. But for a true yin benefit, I want you to relax. Nothing should be held. Okay. Our next pose, we're going to go into the supported bridge. So you might have a blocker, once again a bolster or something nearby. We're going to roll onto our backs. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and bring those feet bottoms up close to our tushies, and we're going to about hips width apart. Try to be able to feel your heels with your fingertips. That's about the right distance. I want you to lift up your tushy for a moment, reposition the sit bones, make sure your shoulders are even. You can feel your spine running along the center of your body, down the floor, and then grab a block. And it doesn't matter which height. The blocks have 3 different heights, but we're going to lift up and rest. Once again, those sit bones, not the small of your back, the actual sit bones on the block. And this is a supported bridge. There should be no weight in your neck. You shouldn't be feeling it. It should be your shoulders should be carrying the weight, and your hips. So the block The weight from your sit bones transfers through to the block down to the floor, and your shoulders will support you. And then relax your body and release. Don't clench those glutes. Let them go. Relax the muscles in your back and in your shoulders. Relax the muscles in your arms. Everything should feel nice and loosey-goosey. Continue to breathe through your diaphragm, through your belly. Feel your belly rise and fall. Are you tensing up those muscles? Let them go. I know I was just tensing up my leg muscles. Okay. Lift up, release the brick, move that block. And if you have a strap, you can grab the strap. If not, you can use your hands. We're doing supported knee to chest. So I'm going to start with my left leg. I'm using the strap, and I'm going to actually put the strap around the outside of my calf. And I'm going to wrap my hands around the strap and pull it forward alternately. We just use our hands. Clasp your hands around your knee and pull it towards your chest. Right leg is extended. And we're trying to pull the knee towards, like I said, our face, our armpit, trying to pull it forward. Okay, release that leg, extend it out, shake, reposition your shoulders and your sit bones, and let's pull that other knee up. Breathe. In and out through your nose. Relax your eyes. Relax your face muscles. Open that jaw a little bit. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Okay, for last set of poses, you're going to want to pull the bolster back in. We're going to face it around the small of our back. And going to cross that left leg, bend it at the knee, and then we're going to cross the right leg over. This is called a figure four. Arms out to the sides. You can allow your head to drop. To one side. Relax, let go of those muscles. Don't clench that tush. Don't clench the thighs. Relax your feet. Relax the shoulders. Okay. So cross those legs. Sit back up. Reposition that bolster. And again, right leg. Cross the left leg over the right. And then come down. And the arms out to the sides, palms up. And relax and let go. Okay, you can uncross those legs. Remove the bolster. If you want, sit up. We're gonna get ready for Shavasana, which is our final pose of the day. We're going to do a short meditation. If you want to put on your sweater, your socks, get a blanket to cover up, now's the time to do it. Traditionally for Shavasana, we lay on our backs, palms facing up, feet open towards the other end of the mat. But if you want to use a bolster, do legs up wall, do what you need to do to make this pose the best for you. I want you to position yourself until you feel that you're balanced. I want you to release your shoulders. Try to have your palms facing upward in a receiving position. Close your eyes and breathe quietly in and out slowly through your nose. Take a moment now to settle your attention on your breath. Notice the movement of the breath through your nostrils. Follow that movement into your body. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. The expansion and softening in your belly. Perhaps feeling the breath in the back of your body, the sides of your rib cage or anywhere else. Notice where it is that you feel the breath most clearly, and then anchor your mind in that spot. Hold this deep curiosity on your breath as we work towards a perfect 10 breaths. Prepare with a slow breath in, and then count your exhale as breath number 1. Exhale, number 2. Inhale, number 2. Exhale, number 3. Inhale, number 3, and so on, all the way up to 10. Anytime you notice that you've lost count, simply drop what you've been doing and begin again. Sigh out if you need to, with exhale breath number 1. Back to inhale number 1, and so on. Return again to exhale number 1 as many times as you need to. Repeating exhale 1, inhale 1. It's just as successful as making your way to 10. The goal is not out there ahead of you on the 10th breath. The goal is to remain present with just this 1. Exhale breath number 1. Inhale breath number 1. Let that felt sense of breath in your body, a deep curiosity, and your interest in the breath and its process, its movement. Let all of those things hold your attention on the breath. Distractions will arise, but there is no need to chase them. Once you notice you've lost your count, there's no need to stay or judge or question why. Just a smooth, instantaneous flow back to your breath. Exhale number one, inhale number one. Exhale number two, inhale number two. Remembering that perfection is not a future condition or a future state of mind. Perfection can only exist right here and right now. Perfection arises in the present moment. Perfection is noticing the pull of distraction, but giving no chase. Perfection is deciding to remain, to stay. It's in the moment when we act, not out of habit, but with intention. At first, it takes effort. With practice, the action becomes instantaneous. Each flash of distraction gets ignored. We let it go. We stay. This breath out, this breath in. Exhale number one, inhale number one. Let's begin to come back. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to flex, make circles with your wrists, with your ankles. Roll onto your side. Pull your knees into your chest in a fetal position and give yourself a hug. Stay here for a moment. And then when you're ready, in your own time, bring yourself up to a seated position. We're going to end the practice with 3 rounds of sun breath. Put your hands to your sides. Extend your fingertips out. We're going to inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. On our next inhale, capture positive energy. Bring it through our vision centers and into our hearts. The light in me sees the light in you. I honor you as you honor me. That is a translation of the word namaste. I thank you so much for coming here today for your practice. I wish you all well. Have a wonderful week. Thanks again. Namaste, everybody.